Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 20 with the Colorado Rockies. We got a lot of work to do, my friends. So in case you're wondering what happened last time around, specifically why we had so many crappy coaches and front office personnel, it's because the game actually hired someone before they hired me for reasons I don't fully understand. So, what we're going to be doing is spending the first few minutes of our playthrough today fixing this. We have two coaches, that's it. Right away, I want a scouting director. And there's not a lot of great options here, which I was a bit concerned about. But I think we're going to take Wes Parker. And here's why. For now, anyway. International players are still not a thing in... Actually, before I say that, let me quickly check the rules under players. Yeah, okay, so there are international free agents. I could add them in, but I think for now that's fine. Which means this doesn't matter. I'm going to hire Wes Parker because he favors tools. He's good at scouting amateurs, and he's good at scouting minor leaguers. And at least for our first couple of seasons, this is what we really need. I especially want someone who recognizes tools over ability because I want someone who's more focused on what players could do in the future rather than what players can do right now. So we're going to offer him a contract. Now, he's not very good, but he could get better. So we're going to go ahead and give him an offer. Done. We next need a bench coach. And we're going to have not great choices. And that's totally fine. It would help if we picked manager. And then went bench coach. Here we go. We want somebody who can get along well with our current roster. So let's look. You're not great at development, but you kind of get along well with people. Hard pass. What is your deal? You like OBP. You prefer speed to power. I don't love that. Mendoza. Ooh. Wait. Randy Squires has a really good relationship. He's going to have a hard time developing pitchers. But I still think Squires here represents our best choice as bench coach. Done. Moving on down the line, let's get ourselves a better trainer. Because we had a lot of injuries last year. Okay. Ruben Saez is looking pretty sweet. He's really good at he's really good at healing leg injuries, which means his ability to prevent them isn't a big issue. I think we're just going to go ahead and hire Ruben. I'm not going to beat this choice into the ground. Let's just make it happen. Finally, we need a pitching coach. Now, any pitching coach we pick is going to have a very difficult time because of Coors Field. Let's see here. Do we have... The thing is, we don't have any real young pitchers yet. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to choose someone purely based on what they might be able to offer for a specific kind of pitcher, right? What we need is someone who can help all pitchers to a certain degree. And then we want someone who wants to be a hitting coach, and we've got a few choices here. I think he's going to be our guy. I think without hesitation, we need someone who can teach people how to hit for power, which he certainly can do. We've already got a few power hitters on the team. I think he's perfect. Okay. Now let's start filling out the rest of our roster. And what we're going to do is I'm actually not going to get into really specific needs for our minor league teams because we don't know what they need yet. I'm just going to pick people more or less at random. Ooh, Mike Hargrove. And then see how they develop, and then in time we can pick who to keep and who not to keep. So I'm looking mostly for youth, and then just seeing how... Oh, didn't I hire you for something else? No, I didn't. Okay. The Wichita Storm. Grab yourself some John Otten. And I know, again, this seems pretty random, and that's because it is right now. But for right now, what matters most is just getting coaches, and then we can add or subtract ones that we think might be helpful. Sure, Brian Sizemore. Welcome aboard. So again, we want young coaches that have a chance to get better. No, you are a manager. You need a pitching coach. Well, let's get someone who can do some power pitchers. In real life, there were a lot of different pitching types tried in Coors Field to overcome the natural fact that, let's be honest, is this Dave Stewart? No, this is David Stewart. But you know what? That's fine. Welcome aboard. They tried a lot of different kinds of pitchers to overcome the natural disadvantages of playing in... Can I just grab Alexis Flores and just have like an amazing AAA hitting coach? And they tried a lot of different kinds of pitchers to try to overcome these natural things. And different approaches work for different players. They ranged from using lots of ground ball heavy pitchers to big strikeout pitchers, and they've never really mastered it. Really until the humidor became a thing, which took the starch out of baseballs, and MLB approved of that. It's something we're just going to have to deal with. Okay. Contracts have been offered. Beautiful. This still isn't perfect, but I think our front office staff is going to be, and it should say pending all across the board here, this should still be a good bit better, which is what we're looking for. Who do we have up for arbitration? Okay. John Farrell was pretty bad. I don't see a huge argument for keeping him around non-tendered. Dave Fleming we're keeping just because he's young. Dave Johnson was actively terrible. Go away, please. Stan Belinda was fine. And I know one of the things you have to keep in mind is ERAs are always going to look high. We can't trust that. We have to look at his peripherals. Specifically, we need to look at his FIP. Because ERA is not park adjusted, but FIP is. No, that's not it. Here we go. So according to his peripherals, he should have had a... actually, this is going to be easier to see if we look at this screen. Okay. So Belinda's actual ERA was 4.89. His real FIP, though, was 4.02. This tells us he was actually better than he looked, and the difference is probably Coors Field. Which means Belinda wasn't an amazing pitcher, but he wasn't a bad one either, and he's probably earned himself a new contract. And he really doesn't want to be part of the Rockies, which I suppose is fair. We'll go to arbitration with you. Definitely with you. We've got to be able to do better than a Bill Sampson type, right? We just have to. Rudy Sienas, definitely. Kevin Maas. I'd keep him for one more year. Descanso, not really. I mean, he's a player who has no actual offensive talent, and even in Coors Field, you have to have a certain level of baseline. Withdrawn. Lloyd McClendon, you are delusional if I'm spending 800 grand on a backup catcher. Please stop. Come on. There we go. Jerome Walton. Oh, you're really unhappy because we don't have a manager. Don't worry, we'll fix it. I could maybe offer, and I definitely want to bring, not Abner back. I gotta be able to do better than Abner. God damn it. Alright, let's take 30 seconds. We're just gonna go to windowed and then back to full screen. It's really silly that I have to keep doing this, and I really hope that they fix this in next year's version of OOTP. Now all the buttons are clickable. Yeah, Abner is a center fielder who can't really play center field. Withdrawn. I will offer him arbitration because I would like to get that sweet draft pick. Kevin Bass was fine but not amazing. Felix Fermin was fine but not amazing. I have to think I could do better than either one of these guys in either free agency or the draft. No one here is particularly young. So I'm just going to go ahead and say the rest of you can go take a flying leap. And let's advance things a bit. And we've got our various hitting coaches, which is very lovely. I've got a new team trainer. I think this is really going to help the team. We had a lot of injuries last year, partly because our team trainer was so terrible. Keep on keeping on. Okay, there's my scouting director, so let's have a quick peek. So you'll notice now all of a sudden Chipper Jones looks like he's a potential superstar, which he is, because we have someone that focuses on tools. I'm really excited about him and his potential. Even if his third base skill isn't perfect. How did he do, by the way? You know, he was a positive fielder. So he's going to get a full year in single A. Reuter's got a bit more of a future. Hampton has earned a promotion to single A. Let's promote him. You've probably also earned a promotion. I don't think you're... I quite frankly don't... Actually, you want me to put him in double A already. You think they could handle triple A scouting director. I'm not sure I trust you on that. And I want to give him especially time to hit for contact. So we'll let him go ahead and play in Woodfin. I'm okay with jumping him 2 levels and Reuter 1. They're both going to be part of the Rockies for a while to come. So that's fine. How is our... So we're sorting on our bench coach and our hitting coach. Our pitching coach, rather. That's fine. But guys, we're not going to win any awards. We might get like a Gold Glove or a Silver Slugger. Maybe. We got Mike Hargrove. Very nice. There's our bench coach, and we're really just waiting on a few other people to accept offers. And we didn't win any awards this year. I thought there was a small chance we might end up getting like a Silver Slugger for somebody. Oh, we sure did. We got 2 Silver Sluggers. Way to go, Dave Fleming. And then Andres Galarraga, which is what I was much more confident that Andres Galarraga would get Silver Slugger. How bad was he in the field? He was marginally acceptable, and frankly, I'll take that. We're going to see this a lot in Colorado. I'm kind of excited about that. Taking veteran players and just making them into offensive gods again. I'm very excited about that. And I think that's everyone, isn't it? Nope, still got a couple pitching coaches thinking about it. That's fine. And there we go. We have completed filling out our staff. It's better than it was. There's a lot of front office personnel I'm not super enthused about. But that's okay. How much money do I have to play with? I have $6 million for free agents and $8 million for extensions. It's not a lot, but we have a small market. So, I'm going to increase scouting and player development's budget. Because I think that's where our money needs to be focused. And it does give us less money for free agents, but we're really going to be doing a lot of dumpster diving to fill out rosters, at least for the first 2 to 3 seasons. That's what we've done in the past, and I think it's what we'll do in the future. For at least for a bit. Go up to salary arbitration hearings. Finish the day. I'm probably going to win most of these. None of these players were truly... Oh, no, I take it back. Stan Belinda got a big ol' raise. Okay. Alright. We should have the number 1 pick in the draft. I'm not seeing anyone here that really blows my mind. Some really talented players, don't get me wrong. Like, we could do a lot worse than drafting either Charles Johnson or Mike Lieberthal. Especially Johnson. I don't know that I would necessarily take a catcher first overall. But here's our deal, right? We need whatever we can get. That's what we need. Are we the first overall pick? Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. We are. Perfect. So let's very quickly take a dip in the draft pool. You like what I did there? Let's just get the lay of the land. Fuck me. Alex Rodriguez. This is the most obvious choice in the history of anything. Done. We've already made our decision. Holy shit. Yes. It's like, why even bother thinking about any of these other players who, while they might be good, this is perfect. Alex Rodriguez at shortstop. Chipper Jones at third base. Yes. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. Done. And look, he declined arbitration, as I suspected he would. Ooh. Now, Gary Sheffield will look mighty tasty. Alright. What positions am I reasonably sure we've got talent at? Left field, first base, second and third, to be continued. And we need, holy shit, do we need pitching. All of this is undeniable. So what we need to do, our next step, is to try to fill up first the rotation. So we're drafting Alex Rodriguez. There is no hesitation if the draft was right this second, that's the player I would draft. So we're going to need a 1 or 2 year stopgap at shortstop. We're going to need a right fielder. Gary Sheffield could certainly do that for us. All right. Now, remember, we're not going to want to spend a lot of money on anybody until after the draft. So let's actually just wait till after the draft. And I know it means we're going to miss out on certain players, and that's fine to me. We could sign potentially... we're going to get enough people to fill out our team, I think. We just may have to be creative. Melito Perez. Oh, no, you would be a very tasty addition to this rotation. I mean, you are a bit expensive. We're probably going to have to pay a premium for free agents. Yes, I think this deal is one I make immediately. And it's not going to cost me a draft pick, which is even better. You know what? Let's look at shortstops. Hello, Walt Weiss. You know what? I like you, Walt Weiss. I'm going to give you a pair of team options. How does that sound? Oh, Walt Weiss. You have no idea what you're being asked to do. Oh, I could have brought in... That's alright. Okay. What other positions do we need to fill? Do I not have either of my catchers anymore? I really don't. Okay. Really, pitching has to be our hard push in free agency. Actually, really every position is our hard push in free agency. Okay, right. So this season, we're probably going to put McLemore at third and let Fry take over second. Does make McLemore a tiny bit worse, but again, we're just looking for warm bodies right now. That's really all we need. And then we need to start filling out the pitching staff. All right. Every starting pitcher with a pulse is getting an offer as long as they don't cost me a draft pick or very much money. Bring back Fernando Mania? Why not? Dave Stewart? Absolutely. Come on down, Dave. Danny Darwin? Danny Dunn. Jeff Robinson, you had some injuries last year. I bet you want a chance to get some Major League play time. Dave Stieb? I mean, he throws lots of innings, just not very good innings. Kurt Young? Absolutely. Ready. Okay. Third base. Tim Wallach. One-year deal sounds lovely. Now, Gary Sheffield is pretty clearly awesome and would make a fine addition to our collection. We might take a stab at him as needed. Ooh. But I really think we need a center fielder. I think that has to be a position that we have a bit more talent at. Juan Samuel, you cannot actually play center. Can I at least get someone who's really good at center? Not really. Alright, fine. Dave Gallagher. I'm gonna offer you a deal. Alright. We've made a lot of contract offers, and I think that's perfect. The only player we paid a little bit more of a premium for is Melito Perez, and to be quite frank, I think that's reasonable. Given where we're at in our development, we need at least one young pitcher to bear some of the load, right? This is fine. Let us go to the winter meetings. You know, I do have to bring him back. That's fine. Which money do you want, Danny Darwin? You know what? I'm gonna offer you $470,000 if you make the roster. How about that? Everyone is thinking about my contract offers as they ought to. Let's also check for... Because I also need to restock our miners, right? So I'm just going to start handing out minor league contracts to people if they look even remotely interesting. Which means if you're in the 40s, you get a minor league deal. Not you, though, because you would cost me a draft pick. Okay. No, I think we made the right call there. I think we've acquired some additional players who are capable of playing baseball. I'll also throw in on Steve Springer just because I like the idea of grabbing some minor leaguers with a bit of differences here. Augusto and Gutterman are not happy about getting minor league deals. I mean, Augusto is good enough. He'd probably make the team. I am not objecting to giving you a contract for the major league minimum. So you want 240 grand. That's fine. Okay, Melito Perez. He really wants to get paid. I'm going to offer you one more deal, but if you turn me down, you turn me down, and I don't care. Alright, I'll offer you a minor league deal, you jerk. Now, I'm not going to get sucked into a bidding war over a mediocre pitcher. Like a John Smoltz, maybe, but not you. Who do we got Hall of Fame-wise? Vita Blue, kind of pass. Like, if he gets into the Hall of Fame, Steve Carlton, definitely. Dave Concepcion. I don't think so. Hmm. I mean, Raleigh Fingers, sure. You've got to have relievers in the Hall. Raleigh Fingers is deserving. Jim Cott, Mickey Lolich. Like, if Steve Garvey played third base, I would probably vote for him. But out of a first baseman, this isn't a super great offensive line. He didn't draw enough walks, which is really his problem. If Garvey made the Hall of Fame in our timeline, I wouldn't like cry about it. I'm always gonna vote for Minnie because of his contributions to the history of baseball. Um, Don Sutton. Bruce Sutter, I guess. I mean, I will vote for Ted Simmons, actually. Bruce Sutter got into the Hall of Fame because they credited him with inventing the split finger pitch, which wasn't entirely true. He's not a terrible choice, but he's also not necessarily a Hall of Famer. But I do want to fill my ballot, and so I will go ahead and cast one for Sutter, even though I don't necessarily believe he deserves it. I'm going to toss in a vote for Tony Perez. And is there any other players here that really strike me as, let's get that? Mario Soto. Just kidding. He was pretty bad. I guess Louis Tiant. Let's submit that ballot. End of the winter meetings. I'm seeing a lot of people negotiating, but I'm not seeing a lot of signings. How much money are the Brewers giving you? No, I am not paying you $3 million a year. Go fuck yourself, Melito. It's not happening. There are better things I can spend my money on than one pitcher. Hey, we got our first signee, Steve Springer. Welcome, Steve. All right, let's get it done. Alex Rodriguez, come on down to the Colorado Rockies. Drafted. Oh. All right. Please rely on my scout. That's what I pay him for. Okay. This is a very reliever-heavy draft. What does Jorge Fabregas bring to the table? He's a hitter who might hit for contact. OSA doesn't think he ever, but also thinks he has a fair bit more power. He won't strike out much. He plays a pretty fair catcher. For a second-round pick, we could do a whole lot worse. We're going to take a shot on Kevin Jarvis because we're going to need every single pitcher we can get our hands on. And Jarvis is big enough that he could put some heat on his fastball and turn it into an all-new pitcher. And yeah, we're at the stage of the draft already where there's just not very much that's good left. Are there any starting pitchers left? There are 0. Alright, batting potential, power. Really nothing. Contact, really nothing. Pitching potential, stuff. There's Duff Brumley. I'd rather take Steve Klingenbeck. Oh God, look at that movement. He's gonna get lit up in Coors Field if he ever makes it. You know what? We're gonna take this dude. Oh, it wasn't actually my turn. Oh no, it was. Okay. Done. Okay. Alex Rodriguez. I'm gonna sim one day ahead. Just one day. And then we're gonna look at who is left. Okay, perfect. Alex. I don't want to waste any of your development time. I think putting you in rookie ball. No, I'll leave you in rookie ball. You are absolutely fucking out of your mind. I am not trading Chipper Jones. Just stop. Um, just stop. All right. Now all the free agents are in play. Most of whom, okay, John Smoltz is probably not going to want to come to us. I love the idea of getting Dave Clark, actually. I really, really love it. He can play right. I can't really play right. Okay, we do need a right fielder, and we still need shortstop, catcher, and a couple of other positions, too. Do we go for the deep ball, relatively speaking, and grab John Smoltz? You know, he might tell us to go to hell, so let's at least talk to him, right? Ooh. Would you take this deal? Let's just ask for the response. He'll think about it. If Smoltz took that, I would be quite happy with him. Yeah, we're going to get a pretty good outfielder, too. A lot of this is going to depend on when you guys actually sign. We'll go up to the Rule 5 here. Perfect. Many, many people have signed contracts. I love it. All right. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take all three of these players and stick them on the Major League roster. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these guys and stick them on the Major League roster. I really love the idea of having Walt Weiss fill in for a couple of years. Can Wallach plays third really, really well. I could put Macklemore in right field. If I make you a right fielder, how do you look? You're a really good outfielder. I think we're gonna make you an outfielder this year, Macklemore. We do need an upgrade at center field, but Chili Davis can kind of stand around there for 1 year. Wallach fills in at third. Walters can be the catcher just because someone has to be. We need to keep bringing in pitchers. Let's go up to the Rule 5. Did we get some more signings? We sure did. We got Kevin motherfucking Ward. I legitimately don't care if someone takes him from me. I took him because he was free. Take me some Eric Gunderson? I've heard of worse ideas. Let's do it. And I lost Greg Cadaret, which is fine. Oh, shit. No, he's 31. He's not going to get any better. He's maxed out. And that's fine. Not everyone can do everything. I could get Dale Sveum back. Yeah, any talent you actually had is now gone. Go ahead and just complete the draft. How many of my free agents are still thinking about it? Quite a few, actually. Danny, I'm not going to promote you automatically. Yeah, Lee, I'm not going to crack open someone who can't strike people out. So if you don't sign, you don't sign, and that's fine. You really think highly of oh, Fabregas can start an A ball. You know what? If we think he can start an A, I will put him in A. I'd love for him to get a full season of development, which will get him to the majors that much faster. Good old Kent Bottenfield. Darwin to AAA for now. Kevin Jarvis to A. He's a little too old to start in rookie ball. Ward. DePino. Anyone in their 30s gets to go to AAA. I'm just that kind of guy. What else could we grab? Remember, this team's not going to be fantastic, and I'm fine with that. I think Gary Sheffield's gone already, isn't he? He is. I will say this. If we don't sign John Smoltz, I'll probably take a shot at adding a right fielder. Like, if I look at right fielders... I could always grab Kevin Bass again. Could bring in Daryl Boston. He would cost me literally nothing. Yeah, sure. Very nice. I think he is an excellent addition to the team. You can go to AAA. Juan Augusto. You can go to the majors. I think it's weird that John Smoltz is still up for this. Like, I am not going to complain if we can get a pitcher of his caliber to kind of lead the rotation. Because, I mean, you got John Smoltz on the mound, Alex Rodriguez, and fucking Chipper Jones. That's some superstar caliber talent right there. I don't mind that at all. And there we go. I legit did not think Smoltz would take the deal, but he certainly did. Now, is he flawless? My friends, he is not flawless. But he's interesting enough that I'm not overly concerned about him. And now we're going to go ahead and sim up to the preseason because we're going to have to hope that if we're going to make any other improvements. Hey, sweet, Jim Cott made it. I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to remember if Davey Concepcion is in the real Major League Hall of Fame, and I think it was just because the big red machine people like Joe Morgan were like, you gotta put Davey in the Hall of Fame. He's not a Hall of Fame caliber shortstop, but he never has been. I mean, this is definitively a mediocre hitting shortstop who happened to win a handful of Gold Gloves. How much money did you get? You got the exact same amount that I offered you. You just want to play for Oakland more. Fine, you jerk. Okay. Now, we've got a good bit of money left for free agents. Not enough to make a run at it this year. Even if we got ridiculously lucky, I wouldn't consider this team playoff ready. There's just too many question marks. But you did give me more money. A fair bit more money. I'd like to try to bring in an outfielder or two. If Gary Sheffield were actually still in play, I would actually make an offer on him right now. Holy shit. Or I could bring in... You're an interesting pitcher, Zane Smith, but I don't think you're someone I'm going to bend over backwards to grab. Alright. Let's look at outfielders. Bip Roberts is still Bip Roberts, but he doesn't play right. He would be a bit of an upgrade in center. I mean, Dion James would be a wonderful choice. I like him quite a bit, actually. He'd be miscast in right field, but I think he offers some pretty high potential. And I think I will go ahead and kick the tires on Mike Devereaux as well. Yeah, our biggest problem right now is that the major league quality players are already gone, which is fine. Chris James, I will offer you a contract as well. Rob Deere in Colorado. It has to happen. It has to. Rob Deere is so amazing. Come to Colorado. Hit 75 home runs and strike out 800 times. Yeah, Ron, would you like to be the starting catcher for the Colorado Rockies? Perfect. Let me quickly take a stab and see if there's anyone here that we would like to offer a new deal to right now to keep them in the fold. I wouldn't mind an extension for Stan Belinda, but, you know. Now, the one thing this team is right now is extremely old. Which is fine. And I'd like to finish in the top 5 in the draft at least one more year before I start thinking about promoting some of the kids like Chipper Jones. I think that is fair. I'd like to grab a couple more pitchers if we could. But not ones I actually have to pay money for. I'm going to be cheap. I mean, Zane Smith is pretty solid, actually. You know what? You don't really want all that much money. You'd still be one of the better pitchers on my roster. You know what, Zane? Come on down. Mike Boddicker, I will happily bring you to Colorado. And Craig Lefferts, who can at least keep the ball across the plate. Oh. Fuck you, Craig. I am not giving you more than the major league minimum. It just ain't happening. I also wouldn't mind throwing a couple bucks toward Eric King, but I think we'll wait and see how some of these other signings go. Beautiful. Now, of all the players I have right now, the one who's appearing to be the most expendable now is Chili Davis, if not for his bat. I could put him in right, actually. And that's our biggest issue, is we don't have a true center fielder. So maybe we go ahead and let Devereaux make the roster. But we'll see what happens when people actually get to get through spring training. It's still less than $2 million, and I think he's worth at least that much, even despite his age. Alright. All of y'all. You all get to make the spring training roster. Lucky you. Boop. I'm going to go ahead and let Bottenfield have a chance on the spring training roster. Do we go ahead and put Reuter and Hampton? Give them a shot at the spring training. No, I don't want to rush them, and I don't want them to get hurt. Earn your damn check. Build me a team. I don't love benching Henry Rodriguez, but we'll see what happens here. I do need one more shortstop. Is there at least one more shortstop I could offer some cash to? Can you play short? Not very well. I could bring in Alvaro Espinosa. But I'm looking for someone who can play multiple positions. It's Dick Schofield. We cannot have a baseball team without Dick Schofield. It just can't happen at this point. I mean, it's Dick Schofield, you guys. And we got Mike Boddicker. I'm immediately going to place you on the disabled list. I get that you want to get paid, my dude. I'll go for $2.5 million. I don't even care. Because I do need a certain level of quality. You can go... If I promote you to Colorado, does it add you to the 40-man? I don't want to take that chance. What are you offering me? Why would I not make this deal? This is an obvious deal. Done. It's like, why on earth would I keep a 37-year-old pitcher who sucks when I could get a 24-year-old who might not suck? I mean, yeah, I got to put the dude on the 40-man, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. Alright, if Zane Smith wants $3 million a year, he can go fuck himself. No. You're just playing me against the other teams because you're not very nice. And you know what's going to happen, I bet? I bet someone's going to call you out on your bullshit and you're going to come crawling back to me and be like, please sign me. I want to play the baseball this year. No, he did sign with Atlanta. Good for him. Oh, we finally have the division realignment. I don't remember that. That did happen in 94, didn't it? There better not be a strike this year. Right. So our path to the playoffs is now slightly easier. I say slightly. Good stuff. But then again, we don't necessarily want to make the playoffs this year. Our ideal scenario is that we finish... Yeah, a lot of our players are going to get worse. That's acceptable. Oh, look at Chipper Jones. He's starting to put it together, my friends. I am unfairly excited by having him in this on this franchise. All right, let's make the hard choices. First of all, pitching. We have 17. We don't need 17. Boddicker, 60-day DL. That's one decision made. Bottenfield at AAA. Lubers to AAA. Are we down to where we're meant to be? No, we still need to have 2 more pitchers go away. Gonna keep Darwin in AAA. I'm gonna let Cianes play in AAA. I think that's a good decision. Okay. I don't need 4 catchers. So we're going to demote Walters and Lavallere. And Karkovic, welcome to the majors. You made it, my dude. Kevin Maas is a real Maas hole, so he can go away. Did you enjoy that? Dick Schofield, you made the roster because I can't not have you on the roster. Alright. Ward and Walton are definitely not... What is your issue? That's fine. I will happily designate you for assignment. Boston can go to the minors. Chris James to the minors. Gallagher to the minors. I have way too many outfielders. Ashley to the minors. Walton gets waived. Which means friends and neighbors. It never happened in real life. But it's happening now. Mr. 3 True Outcomes comes to the Colorado Rockies. He's going to draw walks, hit home runs, and strike out. Devereaux's going to be the starting center fielder. Can you play center like at all? Not really. You're a very talented hitter, though, and I think the world of you. I might just have Macklemore ride the bench as the super mega utility guy. Despite his awesome year last year, he had a really great year for us, but I just don't think that his contributions are as necessary as they might have been in the past. Okay, let's get this team built, y'all. Oh, you know what? We are short a starter. Oh, no, Kurt Young can be a starter. Okay. That's fine. Clear that pitching staff. Smoltz is the clear number 1. Fernando Mania's our clear number 2. Fleming number 3. Stewart number 4. Kurt Young number 5. Didn't Kurt Young actually pitch for Colorado? Oh, he pitched for Oakland. Okay. Belinda is still quite clearly our closer. He is the best choice of the choices we have to make. Mel Rojas can be our setup guy. Timlin is that. Does Guthrie have a big split, or is he pretty capable of handling right-handed pitching too? He's about the same. So then I will not make you. There we go. Augusto, you can be my lefty specialist and get some middle relief time in. You can pitch middle relief. And then Robinson is going to be long relief emergency starter. There we go. Let's get these lineups going, y'all. Okay. So we're going to look at position ratings, and we're going to go overall. Okay, first easy layup decision. Our number 3 hitter is still Galarraga. Next decision. Who is our next best hitter? In terms of contact, it's actually Jeff Fry. So I'm going to go ahead and have Fry hit second. Do we have another on-base machine? Someone who hits for a lot of contact and gets on base pretty frequently. I mean, it could be Chili Davis. But it would be kind of weird to have Chili Davis as your leadoff guy. Macklemore wouldn't be a terrible choice. I don't know where we'd play him, though. And I kind of want him to be a super utility guy. Do I have anyone else that hits for decently high contact? Dion James could also be a leadoff guy. But here's the thing. No matter what happens, I'm never going to bench Chili Davis. So I'm going to go ahead and let Chili play left field and be the leadoff guy. A lot of power for a leadoff guy, but I think it makes sense. Eli Wallach. God damn it, he was an actor in The Magnificent Seven. Tim Wallach's going to be my cleanup hitter. I think Macklemore makes it in right field, and I'm going to instantly change my mind and have Macklemore bat lead off. I just don't want Davis's power wasted. I want him hitting home runs when there's people on base, not when there's no one on base. Right. Center field has to be Devereaux. Which is with catcher and shortstop. Karkovisi is an excellent catcher. And Weiss is standing around at shortstop. This is our starting opening day lineup, and I'm fairly fine with it. Really? Did you just lie to me this entire time? Not really. The changes are fairly subtle, in all honesty. Okay. Right. Please, bench coach, fill out the depth chart for me. This is perfect. Rob Deere is going to get some playing time. I'm really excited. I am unreasonably excited about Rob Deere in Colorado. This is the thing that should have happened and never got to happen. Oh. I heart Rob Deere. The other thing would be better to be Adam Dunn, but we have patience. Patience, my friends. We're a while from that coming to pass. All right. I do think Chili Davis's time with Colorado is coming to an end, whether he realizes it or not. He's a bit too expensive for what we get out of him. No. I do not want Hilly. Not interested. Oh, Tug. And a bunch of the people I waived got claimed. That's their right. Oh, yeah. Number 1 and number 4. Let's play our first month of the season. And I lost 2 people, and I don't care. I don't mind Kevin Moss being in AAA. I'm just not having him on the Major League roster. It is not something that I need. A trade proposal. He might be decent someday. He is from Littleton, Colorado. I just don't want to give up Darwin unless I'm sure no one's going to get hurt. There goes Chipper Jones. There goes Jorge Fabregas. And he'll be back in about 2 weeks. That's fine. I'm not going to put him on the DL for only 2 weeks. Nope. Chipper Jones is owning AA pretty hard. How's good old Alex doing? He's doing pretty darn well, too. He just needs to get a bit more playing time. Holy shit, Chili Davis has 10 home runs already. Is he on pace at like 70? Yeah, he sure is. Damn. Now, a lot of this is obviously the Coors Field effect. I don't genuinely believe this is the best offense in Major League Baseball, but it's pretty crazy, right? trade proposal, Florida. Nope. Oh, there is one thing I would like to do. I'd like to take a quick look at our team and figure out who we might want to bring back next year. Right off the bat. Ron, you were born to be a Colorado Rocky. Please stay with the team. Tim, we'll see what happens. We'll revisit some of these other players at the end of the season. But I definitely wanted to bring Ron back. Okay, John Smoltz blew out his elbow. This is why I refuse to put anybody. This is why I refuse to trade Danny Darwin, though. Darwin, you're the new ace just because someone has to be the #1 pitcher. And we got Karkovici back. Perfect. I think he's going to do a very fine job of filling the catcher role for us for a couple of seasons. And so long, Fernando Mania. And so long, Kurt Young semi-enthusiasm. You've placed me in an uncomfortable situation, game. I don't really have starting pitchers that are ready to go yet. So, right. Robinson comes in as a starting pitcher. I mean, let's go 4-man rotation for right now. Until people heal. And then what I'll do is I'll just call up Lubers and CNS. And they can just be like middle relief guys. Like, I don't love going the 4-man rotation route because this rotation's not that good. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? Oh, cool. They have the wild card down there. I don't remember seeing that before. Dick, I do not respect that. You are most definitely here to be a backup shortstop. Shut the hell up. Just don't even talk right now. I don't care. We're just gonna go three-person rotation for a bit. Fuck it. We will always check free agency and see if there's any pitchers left. There aren't. Anyone on the waiver wire? There isn't. This is what happens when you have an entire rotation of older pitchers, so... Dave Fleming's a bit better. There's some legitimate improvements here. I like it. Yay, Mike Boddicker can save us. Are the words literally no one had ever thought to say with regard to this season. Yeah, if you told me at the beginning of this season that we would be relying heavily on Mike Boddicker to finish the season, I would have been like, "You are a foolish person. Stop being foolish." Rob Deere and Jeff Robinson would like to come back. I quite frankly don't know that I want to bring either of them back. Actually, the real question right now for me is Wallach. And here's why. Do we call up Chipper next season? So let's review, my friends. Chipper Jones is making Double A his bitch. I think he's earned a promotion to Triple A, no questions asked. In fact, we are going to promote him and Rooter to Triple A. Alex Rodriguez and Hampton have similarly earned their own promotions. Fine. So the question is next year Chipper's first year in the majors? I don't like that he's not getting better at third base. That is vaguely troubling to me. But it's pretty clear he would be one of the better bats in my lineup if I promoted him now. And he's only going to get better as the season progresses, I think. So, I think the short-term plan is... But the million-dollar question is, do I give Wallach one more year? He only plays third. Even trade Wallach. No, because I traded Wallach, I'd be tempted to call up Chipper now, and I want to give him more time in the minors. I don't want to rush him. The guy who's most expendable right now is Chili Davis. Which is going to sound a bit silly, but it's true. He's 34 years old. He makes quite a bit of money. If I can get a good prospect for Davis, I would happily let James take left field or Rodriguez take left field. And then we'd be none the worse off. But let's take a look and see if there's anyone here that I'd really like to bring back next season. Wallach is probably not. I'd probably just let him walk in free agency. Deion James, we'll see. I'm going to wait on Mike Devereaux, but I think he's a fairly good candidate to come back. And you don't want to continue considering a discussion, which is fine. Yeah, a lot of you are kind of terrible, and that's why I kind of don't want to bring you back. Let's try to flip Chipper Jones. Hell no. Chili Davis. Alright, I only want prospects. And I'm really only getting offers of relief pitchers and catchers. I mean, you've got a couple of reasonably intriguing middle relievers, which is not nothing. I'm going to officially put you on the trade block and see if I start getting some offers for you. And then I will flip you at the trade deadline. I think I've convinced myself. Danny Darwin would like to come back. How much money would he want? Not very much. He actually wants a pay cut. So you know what? I will offer you a 1-year extension. And we will find something to do with you. You want to come back, Mike Boddicker. How much do you want to come back? Again, you're taking... you want a very slight, like, 1% raise. No. I'm not going to do that. There we go. Ooh. Anyone here from the Rockies? Walt Weiss is weirdly getting a lot of support. He is hitting 349 this year. Wouldn't that be funny? Like Walt Weiss becomes the guy. He really likes the attendance, which is great. Okay. Please offer all my minor league coaches an extension. Just so that my young players have some consistency and some stability. No, I am not trading Mike Hampton. I cannot afford to be picky when it comes to starting pitchers. And at the very least, he'd be cheap. Yeah, I will listen to offers on any of my veterans, but not on any of my young players. So you're going to give me a reasonably intriguing bullpen arm in exchange for a catcher I don't have much use for. Agreed. Actually, can I get you to throw something else in Florida? Can I get Miguel Batista? He'll think about it. I don't really want Damon Buford, to be honest with you. Tony Womack, I remember you. You played for Arizona for a long time at second base. I guess not a long time. I also remember you never being very good. I will make this offer. I think this is a great move, taking a player I'm not using to get 2 players I might use. Sometimes deals are just that obvious. No. You'd ask me to throw something else in. Can I just get Batista if I drop out more? Wait, what? You think the deal is worse because I'm asking for less? You know what? You want to have a first baseman who can't hit? Fine. And then let's see if you'll give me Marcus Moore, too. Okay. Done. Have you used your option yet this year? You have. Perfect. So So then I'm going to go ahead and put you on the 40-man and then put you in AAA for right now. Okay. I'm not getting anyone kicking the tires on Chili Davis, which I actually find somewhat shocking. Walt Weiss is very close to leading the league in hitting, and if that's not Colorado at its most Colorado, I don't know what is. Okay, how many Rockies? Oh, Walt Weiss is the one and only All-Star. Sure, you know what? Why not? Did he actually play for Colorado in real life too? He did. Yeah, and he had like this very slight career renaissance. But yeah. All this is fine though because my plan is not to rush A-Rod. Let's go up to the trading deadline and then I think we'll flip Chili Davis to try to save some cash. Oh my lord. Mike Piazza in... Oh no, don't do just next month, please. I'm going to watch this for a bit. Thank you, Eric Gunderson. I know it probably doesn't feel like you helped the team, but you really did right there. Because now I can call up good old Rudy. Get him some pitching in this year. That reminds me, I want to try to get Stan Belinda to stay with the team. Can I get a 4-year deal? No. He wants a shorter contract. What if I offer you a couple $100,000 more each year? Does this change your mind? It does. Perfect. Because right, even worst case scenario, Belinda can be a setup guy. But I think he's a really good choice for this team. He doesn't actually throw all that hard, but still strikes people out. You got to respect that. I guess you don't have to respect that. I'm not your boss. 3 homers for Wallach. Now, so we have a couple of interesting choices right now. So if we look at the team, Wallach is having an outstanding season, and we're not going to keep him anyway. Do we flip him and call up Chipper? There's reasons for and against that. The biggest reason against that is we don't want to start the arbitration clock on Chipper early. And I'm hoping that we can sucker people into giving me a draft pick for Wallach. Chili Davis is entirely expendable by every stretch of the imagination. I am 100% trading him. It just comes down to, do we trade Wallach? Right, well, let's start by seeing what I can get for Chili Davis. I'm going to add regulars too. Because if there's someone that can be a solid regular for a few seasons, I still think it's worth it. Especially when we get a starting pitcher. That's what I really, really want, is a decent, not a perfect, but a decent starting pitcher. Okay, we're getting a lot of relievers, including Matt Turner, who's pretty tasty. You know what, Avi? If you just hit starting pitcher, it only gives you starting pitchers. Okay. I don't love Gene Harris. I don't think he's what we're looking for. Rennie Tomlin is definitely not what I'm looking for, especially at that price range. Scott Frederickson is not really a starter. You're not really a starter. You're definitely not a starter. Nope. 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 Mm-hmm. Tomlin's control could improve. The thing is, though, I'm not sure he's worth... Oh, God, he is not worth it. Nice try. Yeah, I don't trust any of these guys. Okay. Now let's look at only position players. John Flaherty. Maybe. Nope. Cecil Fielder. I have a first baseman who's quite good at his job. I don't need another one. I don't need third base or shortstop. What I really need is outfield. Luis Polonia, possibly. Well, I'm just better off just trying to acquire a couple of relief pitchers. Because I don't think there's anyone here that's really going to be... Kreuter's not terrible, but again, that just kicks the can down the road. We could potentially get an upgrade at second, but no one here is a great upgrade at second. An upgrade at right field wouldn't be terrible, but I've already got several outfielders who are about his level of quality. I think it just comes down to the relievers now. Because our bullpen can definitely use some work, and we'll probably get some really good offers here. Oh, you know what? There's one other thing I could do. What if I add Wallach? I forgot about that as an option. And then we'll just go by all players. Or just starting pitching. I can only make one more shopping attempt today, but I can always make more tomorrow. Does adding both of these guys significantly improve the quality of what I can grab? I mean, I'm getting offered really good bullpen guys, which is not nothing. Like, I'm getting really good bullpen offers. Ooh, Mark Lemke. I don't know that he's that much better than Fry, though. Good old Mike Stanton. You know what? Let's sim ahead one day. I can make 10 shopping attempts today. Beautiful. Let's start with starting pitchers. Because that's what we need the most, right? And I'm willing to pay a bit of a premium to get a good young starting pitcher. The problem is a lot of the people you're offering to me as starting pitchers are in fact not starting pitchers. Like, Willie Blair is a good pitcher. I'm not convinced he's a starter, though. Bosky's going to get lit up in Coors Field. You're definitely getting lit up in Coors Field. This is a shame, but this is what we're looking at, right? Rick Reed is just terrible. OSA thinks the world of him. I don't. I also remember Rick Reed in real life. He wasn't good. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good either. Okay. Second chance. Let's check out... Let's look at infielders. No, because I actually would not mind looking at some outfielders, too. Oh, you know what we could do? Right, let's go back to... Let's look at all the starting pitchers. Because for a sufficiently good pitcher that's sufficiently young, I would actually open up my checkbook. Tim Belcher is not it. Frank Viola is not it. Don Robinson is definitely not it. Danny Jackson could be the perfect fit. I think Danny Jackson is the exact kind of pitcher we need in Colorado. Not Mark Gardner, though. So I trade for you. Can I get you to add someone else in? Could I get a second starter? Longmire's not very good. I mean, I could add Jeff Kent. I don't think you'd give him to me, though, would you? Would you give me Jeff Kent? What would I have to offer? Okay, you won't give me Jeff Kent. That's fair. You know what? That is completely and utterly fair. Can Ed Sprague play second? Not very well. And you're not very good. You'd never give me Greg Maddux, would you? Would you? You wouldn't. I would weirdly love to get my hands on Pat Henkin. But I'm not going to offer John Smoltz. But maybe we've got something here. Alright. I want to keep Fleming and Smoltz. But I would trade Dave Stewart. Does that change the equation? No. I offer Rob Deere. He means a lot to me. No. What if I just asked for Pat Henkin? Okay, this is a much more palatable deal now. Okay. We're offering you a lot of veteran... Oh, but I really want Danny Jackson, though. I really do. That's the thing. Danny Jackson is going to fly so well in Coors in a way that Pat Henkin might not. I can't offer you John Smoltz. He's hurt. No. So let's think about this offer. We're trading John Smoltz and a couple of players we don't like for two pretty good starting pitchers. You really won't give me a third starter if I'm throwing in John fucking Smoltz. No. Now I can even make this deal and get an improvement. So here's our issue. We paid a lot of money for John Smoltz, and he's a really, really good pitcher. This is undisputed. If I make this deal, though, I'm getting two quite good pitchers. One of whom is young and cost-controlled for a very long time. The other who seems to be very cheap. If I make this trade, I can be a player in free agency this year. Like a big player. Chili Davis I'm trading no matter what. And this guy is just a center fielder who might eventually be able to draw walks. These are both players I can replace. Could I get you to throw in one more player? The thing is, the guy I'd want is Jose Lima, and you won't give me Jose Lima. Which is fair. Who do you got in AAA? Anyone interesting? Jeff Bronke. I mean, not really interesting. Roberto Alomar? Why is Roberto Alomar not on your team? Do you want to get rid of Roberto Alomar? No. Okay. Just to see, I know you're going to probably laugh in my face if I remove all of this. You'd never give me Robbie Alomar. Okay. You know what? I had to try. Not Greg Maddux. No. Okay. No, you're fair. Could I get Henkin and Guzman? What would I have to add? Nothing. Okay. Danny Jackson. And what about a relief pitcher? What about Dave Veers? Oh, you just drafted him. Okay, that's fine. Tom the Terminator? Oh, you don't want to leave Toronto. That's fine. Mark Eichhorn. Surely he wants to come to Colorado. He's very, very close. What if I agree to eat 15% of his salary to get a really good reliever, two quite good starters? I'm giving something up here, but you have to give something up to get something. Am I going to get a player like Smoltz ever again in free agency? Maybe or maybe not. But that's okay. Because what I'm essentially doing is replacing a great pitcher with two very good ones and getting a bonus bullpen guy. I'm going to pull the trigger. Alright, so Henkin and Jackson. Boddicker, you can leave. Luber's gone. Eichhorn, promote. Alright, pitching. I'm going to go ahead and let you rebuild my pitching staff. Why do I have 13 pitchers? I don't want 13 pitchers. You are also gone, Cianis. Cianes, maybe. I'm not positive. There we go. Lineup. I will also let you... Oh, who are we going to promote? Because we didn't trade Wallach, which means I don't have to promote anyone specific. I can just promote whoever would be the most valuable to the team. Kevin Moss, you know what? Why not? Have at it, my friend. And then go ahead and give us everything. I don't mind promoting Walt Weiss a bit. That's fine. Okay, beautiful. So we have arguably made the team worse in the short term, but better in the long term. And now I can trade Mike Boddicker, who I wasn't going to bring back anyway. But I can now shop him for literally anything of any value. Prospect, obviously. And then make an even bigger profit on the deal. Probably not Russ Springer, though. Maybe Russ Springer. You know what? I'm going to try a complete unknown and just see if he figures out how to hit. Let's do it. So we're going to have Danny Jackson and Pat Henkin. We don't have John Smoltz anymore, which is problematic. But we're going to have... Next year might be the year I just call up most of the kids. Very easily these three. These three right here are going to go right to the majors next year, I think. Chipper, Mike Hampton, and Kirk Ruder. Maybe even Alex Rodriguez, depending on... Okay, he's actually injured, which isn't ideal, but is fine. And I don't have to get rid of Walt Weiss. I can keep him for a bit. Belinda took his contract extension. No, I'm not giving up Kirk Ruder. So there's a couple things I'd like to target in the draft this offseason. Number one is a good center fielder. Alex Cole is not a good center fielder, so I will say that I am not interested in him. That's number one. Number two would be an ace-level pitcher. I don't want Willie McGee. No one wants Willie McGee. Don't be weird. Let's just go into roster expansion. Player development. Looks good. How is Jeff Fry handling his season? Second base is another potential area of upgrade, but it's not a top priority. If I had to address the team's weaknesses, number one is center field. Number two is pitching. Actually, number one is pitching, and number two is pitching, and number three is pitching. But number four is center field. Mark McLemore is probably not a starting right fielder, if I'm honest with you. And we might want to trade him in the near future, too. Unless he's content to play super utility role. If he is, then I'm fine with that as well. Kurt Young can come back. Let's have you rehab for now. Just because we're about to get rosters expanding, and I don't want to play roster games if I don't have to. Who the fuck is this guy? Oh, I remember you. You were taken from me in the Rule 5. You can go to AAA, I guess. Mr. Gunderson, you are also free to rehab in the minors. I think right now we're looking at the 5th or 6th overall pick, maybe top 3. You are not a member of the starting rotation, Jeff. You need to shut your pie hole. Alright. Now we're going to call up our... Gunderson can come back. Young can come back. Okay. If we're going to call up the kids anyway, do we call up Reuter now? Or Jones now? I think the answer to both questions is still no. I think we still wait a bit longer. I'm really worried about Reuter getting lit up when he actually hits the majors. He's got to be able to keep it on the ground, or he's going to be in real trouble. So take a quick moment here and notice that Alex Rodriguez is technically already better than Walt Weiss. You might be a late season call-up next year, but I'm not calling you up at the beginning of the year. Hampton, maybe. Actually, you know what? For the rest of the year, Hampton, I want you to pitch in AAA. Oh, let's make sure you're on the short list. I think Fabregas could be... Yeah, he can be promoted too. He's done really well in Single A this year. Oh, and then Cedeno, you can go to Single A. And we're all fine. Okay. And I just realized I didn't actually put anybody in. Whoops. Sorry, game. Yours is actually the same because I didn't actually call up any hitters. I just called up pitchers. So there we go. Go Yankees. The Yankees win a few extra games, and I could get a top 3 pick. I'd still get a top 3 pick, to be honest with you. Mike Hampton's improving in AAA. His control's getting better. Chipper's getting amazing. Yeah, Chipper's getting called up. There's just... he's injured now, so... But he should hopefully be ready to go in the offseason. Okay. Finish today. Yeah, Mark Eichhorn, go fuck yourself. That is my response to you and your desire to be traded. It's as simple as that, my friend. I have your contract. I say where you play next year. Do you want me to give money to charity? Absolutely. Let's start a charity for Dion James. Hooray. And the Cardinals won the World Series. Haha, Blue Jays. You traded an awful lot to improve your rotation. It still didn't matter. Ooh, Andres Galarraga finished 3rd in home runs. Nice. Okay. Hampton is pitcher of the year. Okay. We're going to bring him back for at least one more year. I'll make that decision right now. Review of season goals. He is worried, but he gave me a 3-year extension. And I'll need to get a new assistant GM, which is fine. Okay. Let's review the team. What went well, what didn't go well. Walt Weiss was an incredible addition to this team, which I did not anticipate that. He was good at shortstop, but most importantly, he drew a lot of walks and got on base. Mark McLemore was about as good as he was the previous season, although again, I think a lot of this is just him playing quite good defense. He could get a Gold Glove, actually. Galarraga slipped a bit, even as his home run numbers went up. But this is still perfectly fine. Wallach was a nice stopgap at third base. Fry put in another decent year. And we had positive contributions from more or less everyone on the roster. Hitting-wise. Pitching-wise, Henkin, Jackson, Robinson were all okay. Darwin was fine. Belinda was our best reliever, as is the case normally. We're all fine. There's obviously a lot of room for improvement. But a couple things are definitely coming next season. The first is we're promoting 3 of our young players. Hampton, Jones, and Reuter are going to be on the opening day roster unless something happens to them, which it might. Oh, Batista. Please go to single A, please. Alex Rodriguez is going to get a little more time this season, and I don't need to rush him. But if it looks like we're getting to the point where we might be able to make a playoff push in year 2, or in year 3 rather, I will promote him. But Weiss is perfectly fine. He is absolutely serviceable, which if it sounds like it's damning with faint praise, it's not meant to. He did what we wanted him to do. He got on base, and he scored a bunch of runs. Yeah. Outfield is still an area of concern. That's where we're going to try to target in the draft. Where did we finish in terms of... let's look at standings. Expanded. No. By sub-league. Yes. 4th overall. We should get a really good player at 4th overall. And we have a ton of places we could upgrade at, so I'm not at all upset about that. So the only positions that I consider to be locked up for the foreseeable future are shortstop and third base. Every other position is up for grabs, basically. First base, I'm reasonably happy with in the short term. But that'll all be for next episode. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the run with the Colorado Rockies. Next season, we're going to push in some of our chips. And then we'll see what kind of season we end up having as a result. Until next time, though, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.